Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned into another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, reviews, and answers that you can use like an answer to the question, what does LockerGnome mean? I really don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to know. It's constantly evolving. If you follow LockerGnome on Twitter, you'll notice that pretty much every day we're finding awesome things that you might be able to bring into your life. Because let's face it, you just don't have enough awesome in your life. That's why I appreciate when you tune in or listen to anything that I might do on a daily basis. Thank you. If you're watching live, welcome. And I can't wait to hang out with you after the show. You get to hear behind the scenes. That's another bonus you get as one of the super nomies. It's easy to do. I don't know. As I do a face wipe. This is Monday morning Chris Pirillo talking here. What more can I do for you? And that's a very, very serious question. We're right around 800 patrons, give or take. And I say that because, honestly, Patreon has not been an amazing system. It's full of holes. A lot of people have cheated the system. And a year into doing Patreon, I really wanted to be at 1,000. I really did. And I feel like I've failed a lot of you. I apologize for that. I'm doing the best I can do. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if we've got 1,000 super nomies in our community waiting to happen. If you are waiting for something magical to come along, now's the best time to pledge $2 a month. That's all it takes to become one of the patrons, one of the super nomies. You get tons of bonuses, and I'm looking to do even more for you and with you. So please, if you can, if you appreciate the things I do for you on a regular basis, whether it's the vlogs, whether it's the live streams, whether it's the answers, the AMA like I'm going to do today, help me get to 1,000 true super nomies. And you'll have made my lifetime, honestly. So thank you for that. If you are one of those true patrons, I can't do it without the super nomies. I really can't. And I hope everybody had a fun time with yesterday's live stream last night. It was originally going to be Barnacles and myself, and he said, "Well, do you want to bring anybody else in?" And I said, "Well, I thought about maybe asking Basher," and I did. And I'm glad I did. It was amazing. It was like, I think, one of the best geek outs ever. And I've done very well with Jerry, and I like doing things with Jerry. It's just that with Jerry, the topic tends to skew more tech. And for better or for worse, last night's live stream, based on the questions we got from you, the community, everybody out there watching, largely because Basher recorded this very brief video of him as a floating head, and he uploaded to his channel, like, what? How many millions of subscribers does he have? It's crazy. And he's saying, I'm about to go live stream with Chris Pirillo. And I'm like, oh my God, that's huge. And the guy used to look up to me. And he's doing so fantastically better than me. That's usually how it works with the content game. So we had a good time last night. Most of the questions were Star Wars related. In this, to this point, I'm really considering kicking off a Star Wars, maybe even a weekly live broadcast with Basher, possibly even in a separate YouTube channel. I don't know how the economics of that would work out, but I'm gonna pitch him the idea. I would like to do a weekly Star Wars thing. I've been talking about doing that for quite some time, and having a partner like Basher could work wonders. Honestly, if only because we were both very, very passionate and interested in talking about all things Star Wars. And I know not everybody in the world wants to, but that's certainly a big part of my life. Another big part of my life, you and our regular sponsors like CITRIX. They're coming in again this week because you've been very, very supportive. Plus, they have that special thing they wanted to let you know about. The very special thing that I talked about the other week. You remember that special thing? Okay, fine. I'll tell you again. Go to Assist at CITRIX. Go to Assist is the #1 global market leader in remote support. That's special, but not as special necessarily as something I'm about to tell you. Sign up today for a 30-day free trial. Special, yes, but this is this very special thing that I've been referring to. If you purchase an annual plan before March 31st, 2015, you'll get a free Samsung Galaxy Tab 4. Visit gotoassist.com to get started. There you go. Hey, Chris, why don't you... Chris, you just don't give away any Samsung Galaxy Tab 4s. Why don't you do that? CITRIX is giving you an opportunity, plus you get to use their awesome software. Win, 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 win. So if you do anything with tech support, that's something you should do. And if you do anything with tech support at all, have funny stories in the past, we're still working with Canon to grab your stories to possibly include in their website that they're relaunching with a new image class line of color printers, plus they're giving away a color printer. All sorts of wonderful things for you. Today is National Puppy Day. Pixie is sleeping in the Darth Vader bed right next to me. So she's celebrating it. I think that's how the dog celebrates it. Happy National Puppy Day. Hug your puppy. if you have a puppy. Even if your puppy is almost, wow, 11 years old? I'm a senior. Okay, maybe I'm not as much of a senior, but Pixie's definitely classified as a senior, as is her brother Wicket. For show and tell today, we're posting the chocolate beef jerky candy bar review. I don't know if that's the full title, the optimized title for search, but a beef jerky candy bar. That's what we're posting. I did a review on the beef jerky candy bar. Why? Because it was awesome. I like awesome things. We posted a 33% off discount for the Blue Pine Studio 3D Illusion Lighting Sculpture. So if you're looking for some desk candy, not just eating candy, we've got that 33% off for you. Also, the Neo NES Giveaway, obviously that's free, and the Jamstick Wireless Smart Guitar, 33% off. I did a review on that. It was actually, I should tell them I did a review on that. Let me write that down. Ow, ow, my arm. Oh, ow. I don't know how. I got a tight muscle right here, but it's been tight for ages. I did a review on that, the CPU video. We're also, I think, posting another video today on how we topple bullying, or how we deal with bullying, in my classic YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, the giveaway and those discounts, deals.lockergnome.com, Jamstick. I want to make sure, because if they can embed the video on our page, the page, that would be great, because that was a fun video review to do. I sang a song. I played the guitar here. Well, the guitar. Not to be confused with They Might Be Giants. The guitar. Oh, okay. So I want to. I can't wait for the LockerGnome app to reboot, so we can start doing, one of the you can be one of the Nomies of the day, or a supporter of the day, or person of the day. I don't know. We'll come up with a word. Nomies of the day. The Nomies of the day? Nomie of the day? I want Nomies because I own Nomies.com, but I couldn't get Nomie.com. Someone else owned that. So, I have to shout out. This is for all the Nomies of the day. I got to figure out how to say that the right way. I'm working on it still. I'm a work in progress, okay? James Hilliker. Now, I say James Hilliker because he sent this to me, and I didn't ask for it. It was not on a wish list. It was something that I tweeted last week. Let's see if I can get it as close to the camera as possible without reflecting too much. So I've been linking off to Entertainment Earth, our affiliate link for Entertainment Earth, and I got a box from Entertainment Earth. Now, the only thing that I had ordered from Entertainment Earth in recent months was something that isn't available yet. So when I got the box, I thought, oh, Entertainment Earth sent something. No, as a matter of fact, this was a gift, or is a gift, from James Hilliker. He sent the Hikari Groot. This is a premium Japanese vinyl. I didn't realize the Hikari vinyl, or these Japanese vinyl, were so tall, but I was shocked, because I believe I linked off to this, so that other people could get it, and James took it upon himself to get this for me. Fantastic. I had not yet really officially kicked off a Groot collection. I had the dancing Groot, or the bobblehead, the baby Groot, the Groot dancer, showcase that in the Pop Vinyl video. Got another Pop Vinyl video forthcoming. It's actually been posted for all the Super Nomies. You get a sneak peek. I posted 9 new videos over the weekend that y'all can watch. They'll go public eventually, but the Super Nomies get sneak peeks. Anyway, this is menacing, but yet, when you know Groot's character, very, very friendly. 1 of 5,000 available. I was surprised. So what I did, since I thought Entertainment Earth had sent this Groot, let me go ahead and stick Groot there. I think we're done with everything. So you can see him in the background there. Screensaver will kick in eventually. I thought Entertainment Earth sent it, so I'm like, oh my god, they sent this. This is so insanely great. This is awesome. Like, this is very, very, very collectible, and it looks awesome. Wonderful paint application, wonderful sculpt. I don't know if I'm going to be removing him from the box to get a closer look, but I made the challenge because I recorded me unboxing the box, not this, but the shipping container, thinking that it came from Entertainment Earth, but I was even more shocked to find out that James had sent this to me as a gift. So you'll see that play out in a show and tell video that'll be posted at some point in the near future. I've got to process it, but it's pretty much live to tape, me shooting here from the desk. Amazing. Just awesome. It's just, the world of collectibles is just, it's so compelling for me. Because it's look at it. It looks awesome. That's why, because it looks awesome. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Chris, I thought this was an AMA. I answered a lot of questions last night. Don't get me wrong. Let's see here. James Hilliker, you did link it. I knew you were a fan, so I went ahead for all that you do. Oh, well, thank you. James, he must be watching the live stream. Thank you, Liz, for passing that along. Otherwise, I would have missed the comment. It's breathtaking. It really is. The level of detail on this and the design is just phenomenal. In fact, one of the things I did over the weekend was did some final edits to my toy photography video, which I think is going to go public next week. I had to make one final change to the one that I uploaded yesterday that I may have shared with certain people, the Supernomies, but made one change based on their feedback. But it's probably one of the most heavily edited videos I've ever done, so I'm pretty happy about that. JL Matsunaga, this is on the open Facebook thread that I'm going to here. You had the chance every week. You have a chance. Is Ubuntu forever? Nothing is forever. Nothing, except for this Hikari Groot. That is forever. This is probably going to last longer than Ubuntu. This is going to last longer than Windows and OS 10 because it's plastic, man. It's a plastic man, not to be confused with Plastic Man. Yeah, I think it certainly got staying power. Probably as far as most distributions of Linux are concerned, one of the more notable success stories. But operating systems evolve. Software is in a constant state of evolution as a life form. Nothing is forever. But I think that Ubuntu, as it continues to evolve, embracing a mobile foundation and continuing to move forward, has a chance. In fact, I was reading an article today that was very surprising, really, for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't realize they were going to do this. Two, I didn't realize that part of them were local. Cyanogen. The creators of, now the company, Cyanogen Mod, which a lot of people, millions, have used on their Android devices to basically run as an alternative distribution of Linux. Well, yeah, kinda. But Android, sorry, did not mean to use those two words exactly interchangeably. But Cyanogen, I guess, has some people up here in the Seattle area, which is kind of neat. I'm like, really? I had no idea. That was kind of cool. But they're basically going to stick it to Google with Android and move the ball forward and try to be a third player in the space. You've got Android, you got iOS as the juggernauts. Well, Cyanogen is basically going to take the foundations of Android and do it better. In fact, here, my feeling is this. My feeling is that Amazon would be very, very wise to acquire Cyanogen. They would be very, very wise. Amazon, they've got a complementary array of options. Cyanogen, or at least the distro, or the ROM, was really gained popularity because of its performance tweaks. Not necessarily because of stability, but when you mix that technical know-how with another set of technical know-how and potentially media licenses, you've got a powerhouse. And Amazon would seem to be prime, not to be confused with Amazon Prime, in a prime position to acquire something like Cyanogen, if only because Fire OS as a fork of Android just has not really been amazing at all in terms of performance. In fact, just the opposite. Like, if I think performance, Fire OS is like not even last on my list. It's like negative last, which I realize is going to get me struck down again by Amazon PR as not positive. That was the mark I got on my name with Amazon PR for years. Not positive about the first Kindle. I was not positive. But I gotta speak my mind. If I can't share my opinions, what good am I? So Ubuntu, has got a chance to survive. As long as they stay ahead of the game or do something that's different, not just a me too, not just an also ran. Because the world is changing. We're moving beyond the desktop at a rapid pace. Rapid pace. A new app, gets released. It's usually not on the desktop that gets the attention. It's on a mobile device, the computer that we have on us right here. And Ubuntu has to be here. And I don't know if it's there yet. It is kind of ish, but like anything, I think it has a chance to certainly survive and surpass. I would never count it out. Again, this isn't just about Ubuntu. I'd say that about any platform. I really genuinely would. Hugo Garcia asks, 3D glasses. Is it possible to use the phone? 3D glasses. Well, I love your avatar here, Hugo. You win for Avatar of the Day. It looks like a shadow trooper there. Is it possible to use the phone for 3D glasses? Well, maybe with some kind of AR thing. I cannot wait for the Viewmaster. What do they call it? It's the new Viewmaster that they showcased with Google. It'll be iOS device or iPhone compatible, as well as like a Google or an Android phone compatible. But you could do like augmented reality using this little device in conjunction with discs, in conjunction with your phone. The phone outright, it's just a computer. So when that computer's used in a certain scenario, well, then you've got a deeper value. So I don't think you could use the phone as 3D glasses, but I suppose it would be possible to, in conjunction with, some kind of marker, use it for not just virtual reality, but also augmented reality. And I think the phone is a more powerful augmented reality platform, not just hardware, but software specifically, than it is for VR. VR is kind of like just way, way, way the next level. So possible to use the phone, not necessarily for 3D glasses, but, maybe it's an application waiting to happen. It would be fantastic to see an app. This is what I would love to see. And you'd have to have the hardware in conjunction with the software that you could point the phone towards a traditional 3D type of screen. The the red blue effect for 3D, and the phone would make it translate somehow. I don't know. It's possible, but I think you need additional hardware at this point. Ahmed Abdul Rahman asks, "Are you fine?" I've been better, quite honestly. Thank you for asking. Jonathan Clark, any plans to visit the UK? No immediate plans at this point in time. Though I want to visit for one reason and one reason alone. Well, to meet you, sure. I mean, if that's where you are, that'd be a great reason. But I've got another reason. I noticed this morning. I was watching the Twitter stream, as I'm prone to do. There's a store called Mark and Spencer. And Man vs. Pink, who's a dad who hates pink, and he blogs, and I follow him on Twitter. He had tweeted a picture of a Darth Vader chocolate that I did not yet have, and I'd been looking for, but apparently it's a Marks and Spencer exclusive. They do shipping, but they don't ship that collectible. And I'm like, what? So we're both kind of upset about it. So I would visit the UK to get that piece of Darth Vader chocolate from Marks and Spencer. Miguel Sanchez Castillo asks, do you like milks and why? I like coconut milk. I like almond milk. Soy milk's okay. But I'm not a milk fan. Never really have been. The taste, the flavor, not a fan. I like milk in things. I gotta have my cereal with milk. In fact, I got 5 fun cereals over the weekend. I don't know if you guys caught that. Setting the stage to do some fun show and tell videos. I saw these cereal boxes on the shelf, and no one was really giving me any answers, telling me if it was new or old. But they just looked fun, like chocolate Lucky Charms. I'm like, what? Chocolate Captain Crunch. I had to try it, or I will be trying it. But there's one that I'm really excited for, Poppin' Pebbles. Sounds like a mixture between like Rice Krispies, Pebbles, and Pop Rocks, possibly. I don't know what this is, but I wanted to try it. Sounds like a fun food to try. But I gotta have milk for that, and so I picked up some almond milk to try it. I'm not a big fan of the milks that come out of things. I'd rather, dream of people milking an almond, which I've tried to do at home, and it's not as easy as you'd think it would be. Ryan Bierbauer, how long have you gone without an electronic device? Well, now with the phone, never. I could live without electronics. In fact, I've done my best to eliminate most electronics from around me, if only because they're prone to so many problems. Most of them are junk. And so I've sought to kind of like streamline electronics. These are great, these external battery packs. I love them for what they do, but, is it amazing? No. In fact, this one hums and hisses, and so I've been thinking about chucking it. Because it's lived past its prime. I'm ready to move on with my life. I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't want problems. I want fewer problems in my life. And it seems that to have fewer problems in my life, I have to have fewer electronics around me. This is what I've discovered. Dino Delsic asks, Windows 8.1 versus Windows 7 versus Windows 10. I don't know. I think Windows 10 would trump out of all those. It's a very interesting question, but almost impossible to answer. Windows 8.1, good enough for now. Windows 10, I think will do a better job than Windows 8.1. Theoretically, we had a conversation about this in the live stream yesterday with Jerry, who has a deeper insight than I do in terms of the inner workings of Microsoft. But certainly Windows 10 or Windows 7 is it's kind of turning into Windows XP. It's past its prime. It's done. Shuffling off its mortal coil, I think Windows 10 will easily replace Windows 7, certainly in terms of performance. Compatibility is a question mark, but in terms of usability, I think a lot of Windows 7 users should be happy with Windows 10. I would expect a pretty wide adoption of Windows 10 pretty quickly. But, the fragmentation of Windows is one of Microsoft's Achilles heels that they'll continue to deal with. Even Windows XP, as much as we may make fun of the people who use Windows XP, there are a lot of people in businesses who still rely on Windows XP, if only for the costs of the upgrades. It's just prohibitive, not to mention compatibility. So I don't really know what you mean by asking me to compare all those. I mean, certainly Windows 7 is the oldest. Windows 8.1 is a stop point, you know, better than Windows 8, but Windows 10 I think is going to trump Windows 8.1 and Windows 7 as well. Gianpaolo Nascimento asks, "Why don't you send a gift to who follows you more than 15 years?" Because it's impossible to track. Sorry. Um, Oleg Cherkasky asks, "How do I use video to develop my English tutoring practice?" That's a good question. Well, it depends on how you want to do it. You could possibly answer questions that are the more popular questions on YouTube, and as you answer them, people find you and they think, "Oh, I like this guy. I like what he's doing. I like how he's doing it," and you take it from there. And you figure out your hook. You know, what's your bigger value in terms of doing videos on YouTube? For me, doing videos on YouTube is a great chance to connect with people like mine. It's a great chance to talk about things that I like talking about. And more than anything, there's sponsored opportunities. I've got the supernomies, but honestly, ad based revenue is not the way to go. I've kind of been ignoring a lot of ad based revenue opportunities for the longest time because they're just not sustainable. It's not supportable at all, at least for the long haul. So don't think that you're going to make you're going to be a runaway hit with ad revenue, because even that changes, even for, especially the bigger you get, the more difficult it gets to maintain trajectory, and everybody will run into that sooner rather than later. So it's one of the reasons why I've tried to get away from the ad based models as much as I possibly can, and it remains to be one of my bigger and deeper challenges. In fact, I've got a few more tweaks that I have to make with a few things that are happening inside of my tiny organization, which I would like to grow bigger, but I just don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, sadly. So how do you use video? You just decide what you want to do with it. You try it. If it doesn't work, do something else. Try something else. Do it until you like what it is that you're doing. One of the reasons I'm having fun with the show and tell series is because A, it's fun to do. I don't feel like I'm beholden to any one type of category. I'm just recording experiences and having fun with it. All along using video. So have fun with it if you can. You can teach, and certainly I've where I know I can teach, where I know I have something to share, I will share it. Most of the insight that I might be able to share is a little deeper than a lot of people a lot of people might do. But whether or not they're interested in that kind of insight, I don't think YouTube community is necessarily interested in that at all. There, unfortunately, for better or for worse, YouTube community is typically a lot of navel gazers. They tend to run with their own circles or in circles sometimes, not looking to deepen or broaden their horizons, deepen their knowledge on a topic, which makes it a bit challenging when you want to talk through a subject. So use video to communicate. Use video to possibly build up your practice, but know where that hook is. So even I don't have all the answers. As far as how do you use it to develop? I just know that you should. You should do what you share what you know, love what you do, and eventually you'll find people who are receptive to that. People looking for English tutoring, let's say. What are they searching for? Find what they're searching for and then go that direction, because that's what people are telling you they want from you. So, for example, I know people look to me for gadget reviews, but how many iPhones are released on an annual basis? There's only so much I can do. How many? Not that many. And then there are a lot of gadgets that get released on a regular basis, but since I don't have them, I don't really like talking about things that I don't have or that I haven't tried. So it's very, very difficult to do sometimes, which is easier to do with food and drink. Like I'm drinking coffee because it's Monday, so we do our live streams earlier in the day, if only to address a different part of the world when we do live streams. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, later in the day, Monday and Friday, earlier in the day. Oh, but how frequently can I talk about coffee because I drink the same coffee? How frequently can I talk about this gadget because I use it all the time? I can talk about apps. People might be interested in that. And I do. When I find an app that I think is worth talking about at a deeper level, I'll do a video on it. But most apps are just not worth doing an extra video on. Most, not all. Justin Lacerdo asks an amazing question. Are you harvesting farts as natural gas yet? No, but I'd love to. Raul Lopez asks, should I get Windows 10? Raul, that is another good question. I really like that question. In fact, Liz, if you're watching, I really want to carve that out as a separate Q&A. Should I get Windows 10? I want to do that as a separate Q&A video because it's worth talking about at length. I like that. I like that a lot, really. The next question: how are you, Liam Cox? Thank you for asking. I'm doing better now that I've kind of talked through things. Jason Miller asks. So Raul, stay tuned for an answer. I'm going to do it as a dedicated Q&A video. Hopefully Liz got it. I'm thinking Liz she's helping me with a lot of things, not just what I'm doing on a daily basis with content here, but also at a deeper level. She's helping me with our events. I had to basically initiate an event strategy years ago and continue. Now we've got 2 events we're doing this year. Vlogger Fair for the family vlogger, lifestyle vlogger, probably not the people watching right now, and then a deeper one for geeks and nerds. So a Vlogger Fair for geeks and nerds. Gnome Dex is getting rebooted, and we'll be inviting all the big geeky and nerdy YouTubers out there, and then of course the people who want to meet them, all in the same room. Very, very concentrated. Forget about big, huge events where you won't be able to meet the people you want to meet. Think about meeting the people that you absolutely want to meet. Am I really that boring, Pixie? She's sleeping and dreaming. Hey, Jedi. Jason Miller. I'm not. You may be a Jedi too. I'm talking to my daughter, who appears to be in a very loose shirt. A very big. Is that my shirt? Did you put her in my shirt?
My shirt was the softest shirt I have.
Oh, the soft. You got a big soft shirt.
It's like her 90 gown.
It's as big as Texas. It's got Texas on the logo on the shirt. Jason Miller asks, I'm thinking about cutting the old TV cable cord. What are the best and inexpensive indoor and outdoor digital antennas? I don't have much experience with them. Maybe other people do and they can comment. Also, what would you recommend to record from antenna TV? I plan to keep internet and buy Amazon Prime for 1 year. What else would you suggest? Jason, well, first of all, yeah, you'd have to do your research, and I don't have I do not have a lab here where I test a whole bunch of hardware. I don't have access to that. So what are the best and inexpensive? Usually those two are not very interchangeable. You either get best or inexpensive. You have to decide what you want most importantly. I would say go for the best that you can afford because that's going to give you the best experience. Sometimes inexpensive is not the best at all, unless you're talking about budget. But I don't think you're talking about budget. In terms of what else I'd suggest, go and use or at least buy into the subscription services that support the shows that you want to see or that you might want to see. That's where you spend your money. And if Amazon Prime doesn't have it, don't get Amazon Prime. If they do, yes. But I like Amazon Prime, not just for the video selection, really for everything else that it might have to offer. Yeah, you'd look into Netflix, you might look into Hulu, Roku possibly. Any service or hardware that is going to give you what you want, satisfy you to a deep degree, and not make you feel like you're missing out on anything by dropping anything else. So, I think you're going the right direction. I don't think the industry's ready for this yet. So expect to feel the pinch. And I think most people would agree with me on this. It's not an all-out replacement, but most people, I think, would be fine going that direction. Fine. It would be very difficult for me to go that direction right now because I like so much content that's still available through the traditional means. But, learn or know what it is that you want most and subscribe to or buy those things that are going to best fit you. There is no one size fits all. What you want is not what I want. What I would want is certainly about to happen, with HBO launching on Apple TV or a variety of digital platforms eventually. I think it's just the beginning. I think if Apple does go the direction as is rumored to launch their own subscription TV service, it's going to be very, very compelling to push that possibility along. And whether or not it's going to be practical for everybody remains to be seen. We're just beginning to see the unbundling of channels and content and providers. So it's exciting, but expect to feel the pinch. Buy what it is that's going to bring you the most amount of happiness, or rent. You're talking about subscription services. Kaylin Lovence asks, do you think... Oh, did I surprise you, Jedi? She was turning around looking at the ticks clocks, and then I jumped in. Sometimes I pop and do that, but she's not crying, so she's kind of getting used to me just doing that every so often. Do you think that scientists could fix the ozone layer instead of exploring space? Sure. Yes is the answer. You got to go to where the money is. If you don't have funding, you can't do it. Don't know what to tell you. That's science. Wah, wah. Isn't that sad? That's science. That's everything. If the money isn't there, you can't do it. That's science. Science is, yes, it's about, learning and exploring and fixing and making the world a better place. But if money isn't there, the science is not going to happen. You are lucky you have no idea what I'm saying, Missy. Yawning like that. It's you and Picky. She's snoring. You're yawning. Is it really that boring? I thought it was. I'm just going on. It's not my fault. I'm just answering their questions. John David Perry asks, "What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing?" Curiosity. That's really what it is. Possibly the feeling that there's more out there than just us. There's more that we don't know than what we do know. And I hesitate to say this, but I'd be very, very sad to ever know that we, as a human species, as this race of humanity, would ever get to a day where we knew everything. We don't know everything. It's sad to see that some human beings think they know everything. The younger they are, the more they think they know. The older you get, the more you realize you don't know. So I think what's so amazing is that spirit of curiosity. Monica Ram asks, at what age will Jedi watch the Star Wars? Well, it may begin with Rebels, the cartoon. It may begin with the Clone Wars. She may watch that. It's kind of up to her. I think she's going to get it by osmosis. Eventually she's going to ask. She's going to have no choice, because she's just going to ask. Well, who is this? Who is this character that you have all around your workshop, Daddy? Who is he? Who is it? Who is what? Well, it's Darth Vader, my dear. Would you like to know more? And yes, I would like to know more, Daddy. So then we welcome her into the universe, or the galaxy of Star Wars. At what age will that happen? We don't know. Whenever she can ask. Whenever she asks the question, whenever she's curious. Curiosity drives a lot of us forward. Deanna Hilp asks, how do you deal with sadness? Deanna, I don't know. I don't have an answer to this question because I don't know. Everyone deals with it differently. I try to cope by doing something, trying to fix the problem. I like fixing things. As much as I hate broken things, I try to fix things in the hope that I can process that sadness. The last thing I do though is curl back upon myself and maybe I've laid in bed for an hour or so, but that is far from like depression or sadness. I can't. I got to do something. So I do something. That's the answer to that question. But yes, we all deal with sadness because hey, we're all human. The Shigan Navalingam asks, is VR really going to go mainstream? Eventually, maybe 20 years from now. Still kind of gimmicky. Eventually, will it be less gimmicky? Possibly. The technology will get there, but it's not there today. Matthew Huang asks, what are your thoughts on drones or quadcopters? Would you fly drones with Jedi as a hobby? They're neat. I never really got into the hobby racing. My dad was into it, like flying model airplanes and driving model cars. He was into that, but I never really got into it. Never really much into gadgetry or that kind of thing. I even have a Parrot AR drone downstairs that I may be giving away at Gnome Decks. Well, if you want to play with it, yes, eventually. But by the time you're ready, we'll be at a completely different level. If she's interested, sure. We'll go out and fly some drones, have fun with that. I honestly, and I think that my interest and fascination, in these kinds of things may very well be changing as Jedi, or if Jedi decides, that she wants to see something, she wants to explore something, or if I can spur on the creativity in her, the curiosity in her, I'd be happy to explore those options. Me, on my own, it's just, it's like, oh, cool, man. Yeah, they're cool, but I'll wait for an awesome one, and then when I can figure out, well, how does that fit? Where does that fit? Then I'm in. They have quadcopters or drones that can follow you. That's neat. I think that's kind of neat.
Like a bodyguard?
Not like a bodyguard. More like you're walking along on a path and like this drone following you.
Recording everything.
Yes, recording everything you do. Which is something that scares the crap out of Diana, just so you know.
No, it's good because if you get murdered, it's on camera.
Why do you always go that direction?
Because
she's always she's so macabre.
Did you not see the video of the baby getting kidnapped? And they caught it on camera. I would have a drone follow a Jedi around.
Jedi would like that.
I'd like, go play in the playground.
Send the drone. Send in the drones. Yeah, as a hobby, I don't know. I don't think that excites me as much. But she's into it. I think that's the thing. I joke about it with sports ball, but she gets into it. I'm going to get into it too. That's what a father does. I really believe that's my role as a father, is to kind of encourage that creativity and curiosity in my child. Chris Dunlap asks, what are your thoughts on Pixels with Adam Sandler? Haven't seen much of it, but, I'm excited about Pixels and pixel art in general. Let's see here. I'm looking through the rest of the questions, but I'm about out of time. And a lot of them seem to be either repetitive or not really good questions in general, or questions that I can't really explain or that I've already explained. So thank you everybody for asking questions as you do on a weekly basis, whether you're my super nomies or you're my nomies, you're all my nomies. Thank you for your support. Thank you. I really appreciate the attention. I appreciate everything that you do so that I can do what I can do for you on a daily basis. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to move into the patron hangout and do the behind the scenes thing and answer even more questions. And you get to see the top of my head as I take off my glasses and continue to work through this Monday. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.